नमस्कार। हरा धनिया बारीक कटा हुआ
Hi
एक टिफिन में आप सबको बहुत
everyone, we're happy to be back here again with another Hindi Unlocked mini lesson. I hope that these lessons have been helpful for you. This is going to be another grammar mini lesson. Let's go ahead and get started. The second tense that we're going to be learning in Hindi is called the present continuous tense. You can simply think of this as the ing tense. This tense describes an action that is currently occurring. It's something that's happening right now. And for many, the easiest way to think of it as the ing tense, as I've already said. For example, I am going to school. This describes something that I am doing right now at the present moment. Now let's look at this tense using just the personal pronoun may or I. So we are looking at the present continuous tense with the may pronoun I, the personal pronoun may, and again we're using the flow chart. So the first thing that we want to do is start with the infinitive verb being the to form, so that's to go, jana. Second, we want to remove the ending, so jana minus na gives us ja. Ja is our verb root, the root of the verb to go. And again, we want to ask the question, are you male or female? This is because when we are using the may pronoun, in Hindi, the verb ending is always going to agree with the gender and the number of the subject. And since we are the subject, when we're using the pronoun may, we have to determine whether we are male or female. So again, let's try this as a male first. And as a male, what we have to do is simply add raha after the root. So ja plus raha gives us ja raha. Now note here that the raha is written as a separate word. Ja and raha are two separate words. Whereas in the previous tense, we simply added ta to the root to give us jata. That was one word when we were working with the present habitual. Now in present continuous, they're written as two separate words. And finally, we have to put the verb in between the pronoun, which is may, and its helping verb, which is whom. So that would give us the sentence, मैं जा रहा हूँ. I am going. Now let's look at this with the feminine ending next. So in the feminine, again, we're going to begin with the infinitive form of the verb that we're using. And again, we're using the verb jana, to go. And the first thing that we want to do is remove the ending. So ja minus na gives us the root, which is ja. And we're asking the question, are you male or female? And this time we're going to do it as female. And as a female, we simply add rahi after the root. So ja plus rahi gives us ja rahi. Again, note that they're written as two separate words. And then we have to put the verb in between the subject, in between the pronoun may, and the helping verb that agrees with may, which is whom. So that gives us मैं जा रही हूँ. I am going, if I were speaking as a female. So again, this is very straightforward. We're simply dropping the na. We're adding raha hu if we are male, and we're adding rahi hu if we are female. Now remember that hu is our helping verb for the personal pronoun may. So may is always going to have who, which agrees with it. It's important to note that the verb ending in this tense is written as a separate word. I mentioned that both times we went through the flowchart. And this is different from what happens in the present habitual tense that we already learned. And it's also different than what happens in other tenses as well. Okay, so let's see how we would use the present continuous tense with the pronoun op for you. This chart shows the present continuous forms for may and for op using the verb jhana, to go, which we've already looked at. And both masculine and feminine forms are shown. So we just walked through this tense with the pronoun may. May ja raha hu, I am going. May ja rahi hu, I am going, speaking as a female. Now, if I were speaking to a man, I would say आप जा रहे हैं, you are going. And if I were speaking to a female, I would say आप जा रही हैं, you are going. Again, note that in the masculine, in this tense, when we're using op, the ending is a, right? It's not ja raha, it's ja rahe. And again, remember, that's because I said op is actually a plural pronoun. And in Hindi, there is a masculine singular ending, which is a. There is a masculine plural ending, which is a, and there is a feminine ending, which is e. So that's why speaking as a female using may, it's may ja rahi hu. And speaking to a female using op, it's also op ja rahi hai. So no change there with the verb. But speaking to a male, it's different than the masculine singular may ja raha hu. It's op ja rahe hai. And that's because the a is the masculine plural ending and op is a plural pronoun. So keep that in mind. So let's quickly remind you again of word order. If we wanted to throw an object into these sentences, the object would come again after the pronoun and before the verb. So to create a sentence in this tense, we would say मैं school जा रहा हूँ. I am going to school if I were speaking as a man. मैं school जा रही हूँ. I am going to school if I were a female. आप school जा रहे हैं. You are going to school, speaking to a man. आप school जा रही है, speaking to a female. Okay, so note where the object is placed. Take a look at these examples of the present continuous tense.
पीना, मैं चाय पी रहा हूँ. खाना, आप सब्जी खा रहे हैं. लिखना, आप चिट्ठी लिख रहे हैं.
Thanks for doing this Hindi Unlocked mini lesson. I hope that this lesson has been helpful for you. Please check out more mini lessons on YouTube, and if you'd like to access the full course content, please go to HindiUnlocked.com. All right, see you again soon.